Today we are cooking up some deviled eggs for your play kitchen. So we're first going to start with our egg bottom template piece, and we're going to lay that onto our white felt and outline it with our disappearing ink pen. You're going to need 2 of these shapes outlined, and then you're going to take the top of your egg template and you're also going to go ahead and outline that. And then once you're done, we're going to move forward with cutting those pieces out. Once you have those pieces cut out, we're going to move forward with attaching the bottom of the egg first. So you're going to take both of the pieces, line up the edges. You're going to take your needle and push it through the back side of the egg. Hide your knot that's at the end of the thread. You're going to come up and over the edge and then push your needle through the top piece of the egg. Come up between the 2 pieces and pull tight. I'm going to then go back through the same stitch that I just did. So push it through both pieces of felt. And then run your needle through that hoop and then pull tight. This will create a knot and kind of keep the top piece of the egg really nice and tight. From there, we're going to move over just a little bit, run your needle through both pieces of felt, run your needle through your hoop, and then pull tight. Again, you're going to do that again, run your needle through both pieces of felt, run your needle through your hoop, and then pull tight. You're going to continue to do this blanket stitch along the whole edge of the egg. Just making sure that your edges line up as you go. Once you get to the bottom corner, obviously you want to secure everything that you just did. So you're going to run your needle through both pieces of felt. You're then going to run your needle through your hoop, not once, but twice, and then pull tight, which will create a knot in the thread and secure all the stitches that you just made. Now you're going to leave your thread attached because we're going to then move forward with attaching the top of the egg to the bottom piece. Before we attach the top of the egg to the bottom of the egg, we obviously need to add some cardstock. I add cardstock so that the egg holds its shape when I go in and add the polyfill. So you're going to take your template and you're going to outline that onto some cardstock. And then once you have it outlined, just move forward with cutting it out. Once we have our cardstock cut out, we're going to go ahead and glue that to the top of the egg. So I'm going in with my hot glue gun and I'm just gluing the cardstock onto the top. And then from there, we're going to move forward with attaching the top of the egg to the bottom of the egg. So now I'm going to take the top piece of my egg and I'm going to lay it flat on top of the bottom piece of the egg. And here I'm just kind of adjusting my edges to make sure that they line up before I start to stitch. So once you have your edges lined up, I will take my needle and I will come up and over that edge, push your needle through the top piece of the egg, come up between the 2 pieces of felt, pull tight, and then from there you're going to move over just a little bit, push your needle through both pieces of felt, run your needle through that hoop, and then pull tight. You will continue to do your blanket stitch along the whole edge of the egg until you get about halfway closed, then we'll stop and add some polyfill. Now keep in mind as you're stitching, your felt will shift, your edges won't be lined up, so just make sure that you pull your edges together as you're going along the edge just to keep it nice and even. As you get closer to the tip or the point of the egg, it will want to go a little bit higher than the edge. Just make sure that you pull it down so that the edges line up. And then once I get to that point of the egg, I am going to knot it just because I want to make sure that it's not going to come apart at the tip. So again, I'll run my needle through the felt. I will then run my needle through that hoop, not once, but twice, and then pull tight. Creating a knot in the thread and just kind of securing it at the point. And then I will continue to do my blanket stitch. But once you get about halfway closed, stop because we will start to add the polyfill to the egg. So here I'm about halfway closed. There's just a little hole that I can add the polyfill. So just go ahead and add as much polyfill as you want. Obviously you want that rounded out shape in the back, but you don't want to put too much in where it affects the cardstock on the face of the egg. Once you have your egg stuffed, just continue your blanket stitch, making sure to close up that hole. Once I get back to my first initial stitch, I will obviously secure everything that I just did. So I usually go a couple stitches past my initial stitch, and then I will run my needle through that hoop not once but twice, pull tight, run your needle through the egg, and then cut off the extra. And now we're going to move on to the front side of the egg. So you're then going to go in with your stuffing template, and you're going to lay that onto a yellow or mustard colored felt. And you're going to go in with your disappearing ink pen and start outlining it. From here, once you have it outlined, just move forward with cutting this shape out. And then once you have that cut out, we're going to go and do our cardstock that's going to fit into the filling. So get your egg filling cardstock, outline that onto a piece of cardstock. And then once you have it outlined, just move forward with cutting that piece out. So now we're going to move on with stitching the filling. So I always go right to left. I always feel weird going left to right. So you're going to take your needle and your matching thread, and you're going to push the needle to the back side of the filling on the tip of that triangle. And then you're going to move over a little bit and do the same for the next one and the next one. And you're just going to combine all of those together with your needle. I usually do like 5 or 6 of them, and then I'll pull the thread through. And then from there, you're just going to continue all the way around into the circle, and you'll start to see it cinch up like a bag kind of. Once you get back to your first initial stitch, you are going to see that it's going to start to close together. You don't want to close it yet, though. What we're going to want to do is throw that cardstock in there so that it stitches or cinches around that circle so it holds its shape. So you're going to put your cardstock in, and then once you have your cardstock in, that's when you'll start to pull it tight. And as I'm pulling it tight, I just make sure that all those little pieces are laying like nicely on top of each other. And then from there, I will just start running my needle through all those pieces again, along the tip of those, triangles or whatever. And then once I get back to my first initial stitch, I'll secure everything that I just did by running my needle through a little bit of felt and then running my needle through the hoop, not once, but twice. Pull tight, and then it will create a knot at the thread. And then what you'll want to do is run your needle through the filling to the back side and then cut off the extra. And then from here, we're going to glue that onto the face of the egg. So you're going to take a little bit of glue it on the back side of the filling, and then you're going to place it directly onto the egg. And then from here, we're going to go into adding the detail to the filling. So for the seasoning for the deviled eggs, I'm going to go in with my Master's Touch alcohol marker, and I'm just going to start heavily dotting the filling. Oh, this is the color Old Red, number 2. I'm just going in and I'm just doing a bunch of dots along the filling and then along on the egg as well. You decide how much seasoning you want on your deviled eggs. But yeah, I'm just going in and lightly doing dots around the egg. And then from there, you can leave it like that with just the seasoning. Or if you want to add the green chives that go on, I'll be doing the next step for the green chives. So for the chives, I'm just using a scrap piece of green felt. You can do whatever kind of color green you want, but I'm just cutting long, thin strips, and then I'm going to go in and cut those in half and then glue them directly onto the deviled egg. I will always place my chives down first before I glue them, just in case, so I know that it looks good. So just place your chives down onto your deviled egg first, and then once you have enough on there, then I'll go back and start gluing each piece down. When it comes to gluing little tiny felt pieces, I always grab my tweezers so that I can hold on to them. This will save your fingers from not getting burned. So you just grab the little piece with the tweezers, and then I'm just putting a little bit of glue on each piece. You don't want to put a lot because you don't want it seeping through to out the sides and then you seeing it. You want to make it as clean looking as possible. So, but there you go. You have your chives on your deviled egg. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I have the template on my Etsy account, which is linked in my bio. I obviously have pre-made ones already made for Easter. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below.